Hi viewers, I'm Parker Peters, or at least that's what I call myself on the internet. Over the past couple months I've got a lot of complaints about my channel. Complaints about content, but also complaints about my performance. Complaints like, you sound bored, why can't you be enthusiastic about anything? Why don't you be more like AVGN? Why don't you be more like PewDiePie? Just be funny, everything will be okay. You look like an old, balding Jack Black. Five head. And my favorite, you sound like you drink a bottle of NyQuil before filming every video. I take these complaints to heart, and I also take my dropping views to heart. Over the past couple months my views have dropped like flies. I've gone from an average of 200 views per video to an average of 100, and finally now I'm at an average of 20 views per video, which is sad even for a small YouTube channel. In the past, I've never scripted my videos. I prefer to just sit down and be honest and frank and get everything in one take, and I think that's the reason my voice is always so low energy. I'm afraid of saying something stupid on camera. Well, afraid of saying something stupid and not catching it. So from now on, I'm going to be scripting my videos, and I will be trying to provide more thoughtful critique and more energy. I hope you enjoy the new format, and for those of you that have stuck around the whole time, thank you. I would especially like to thank Case of Glass, Teddy Rubskin, and Ralph Pouton, who always seem to comment and like my videos. Thank you guys so much. Now, to kickstart this new format, we're going to be taking a look at one of the finest games on the NES, if you're into games that feature ball-gobbling snakes. This is my review of Snake Rattle and Roll. Enjoy! Snake Rattle and Roll is an isometric platformer released in 1990 by Rare for the Nintendo Entertainment System. Yes, that Rare. Fabled developer, creators of Banjo-Kazooie, Conker's Bad Fur Day, and the geniuses behind Donkey Kong Country. But before their days of contracted Donkey Kong games, Rare developed fantastic little titles for the NES and Sega Genesis. Games like RC Pro-Am, Battletoads, and Snake Rattle and Roll. But enough about Rare, let's look at their game. Here you can see it is in your average everyday NES cartridge. Gray plastic, several pins up in there, and I'm sure it has other features. The label art is actually a fairly good representation of what you get in the game, and that's a refreshing change of pace. On to the actual game. Let's start with the graphics. Snake Rattle and Roll is a gorgeous game by NES standards, and even stands up as fairly attractive today. The sprite work is excellent, and the design of the characters, what few there are, is on par with Rare's usual work. Everything in the game is easily identified and looks good in-game. This is impressive for an NES game, but not surprising, considering it was released so late into the console's life. By 1990, Rare had ample time to learn every in and out of the NES, and could exploit it to the max, which is on display in Snake Rattle and Roll. I don't usually like isometric games, but it seems that isometric was exactly what Rare excelled at during the late 80s and early 90s, and frankly it looks fabulous here, so no complaints from me. The limited color palette of the NES is used to its fullest here. Nothing looks ugly or unnatural, yet there are colors everywhere. A task that even Nintendo themselves struggled with during the era, truly a testament to Rare's ingenuity and creativity. The animation is smooth and fluid. The game does a good job at convincing you that the snake is actually made of balls. There are feet stomping everywhere and things bouncing all over the screen, and it just looks great in motion. The graphics are fancy and great, but as usual for Rare, audio is where Snake Rattle and Roll really shines. With a full soundtrack by David Wise, composer of Donkey Kong Country, this game's music is catchy and iconic. In fact, that's what you're listening to right now, backing this video. Not much else to say about the music, other than I wish I could get an orchestral version just to listen to. The sound effects are equally well crafted, snappy and sharp. Even though they're just beeps and boops, and simple effects, Rare pulls them off with the usual flair and charm they're known for. The gameplay is simple enough. You're a snake, you gobble balls, you get longer. It's like Pac-Man meets Q*bert, but different. When you get long enough, you can jump on a strongman scale, ring the bell at the top, and move on to the next stage. There are lots of power-ups, edible collectibles, and other miscellaneous items around all the 10 or so stages of the game, which is foreshadowing of Rare's future collectathons. There are many hazards and enemies all around, a big foot, aptly named Bigfoot, bombs disguised as balls, and these things. I think they're supposed to be vinyl records. Some stages contain water, and when you fall in, rather than dying, you're chased around by a big spooky shark, much like Banjo-Kazooie. This is a refreshing change of pace from games that just kill you when you fall in the water, and I think it shows the creativity of Rare above other developers. The game is also very replayable. With about 10 levels, not including bonus stages, this game can be completed in about 20 minutes and some change, without exploits. But it will take you some doing to become that proficient. And arcade games like this often become addicting and encourage replays to become better. The game is fun and all, but as with many isometric games, especially isometric platformers, the controller technology just wasn't there at the time. It can be a chore to get your snake jumping where he needs to be, and in some cases perfect platforming is necessary to advance. A chip in Rare's armor here. The same isometric perspective that makes the game aesthetically fabulous, and indeed even makes this type of gameplay possible, contributes greatly to less than stellar controls. An unfortunate side effect of the time, and one that isn't entirely on Rare's shoulders. But the real question is it fun? And the answer to that is an absolute yes. It is fun. It exudes fun. In my opinion, this game is where Rare really began to come into their own, and show signs of growing into the company that would one day shit out masterpieces on a daily basis. It's not perfect, its controls could use some work, but other than this single flaw, the game is fun. And isn't that really what we should be judging games based on? After hours of intense deliberation, it is my opinion that Snake Rattle and Roll is a buy. It is a must-have for any NES collector and any gamer in general. It's just fantastic. If you would like to see any games reviewed on this show, please comment below. And leave any comments you would like. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.